Hey everybody, Smart Silver Stacker here. I want to make a video to talk about some of the quirky and kind of oddball stacker habits that some of us might have. I know I have some, and I'm sure that some of those watching also share some of these habits. So one of the things I'm always doing is I'm always edge checking coins. So whenever I get quarters or dimes or even nickels, I'm always like taking a look at them to see if there's any silver coinage amongst them. And another thing I do is I always pull out copper pennies from my change. So I prefer to find silver, but there's not that much in circulation. But I always do make a point to look for any pre 1982 copper pennies because it's not silver, but it's still hard money. And you can still find quite a few copper pennies out there in circulation. So I've got some of these little containers like stashed all around my house. This is one I keep by my keys and my wallet. So anytime I find some copper pennies, I just throw them in there when I walk by. And then this bin is like something I just, anytime I find any copper at all, I mean, it could be wire, an old piece of pipe. This sits in my closet next to a toolbox. And over the years, I've just found all this copper. Now, it's really not that much, so it's just kind of an oddball habit that I have where when I see metal, I feel like I have to collect it. And this old tin of cashews, so this is where I keep wheat pennies. If you're coin roll hunting or you're just going through your change looking for copper, eventually you're going to find some wheat pennies like these. And this is a really old cashew tin. So when my dad passed away several years ago, I found this tin sitting up in his attic, and it had a couple of old coins and some little figurines and stuff in it. And so I cleaned it out. I started using it as a place to store my wheat pennies. So this also sits in a closet next to my toolbox, and whenever I find wheat pennies, I throw them in there, and then occasionally I'll roll them up. You can see there are some rolls of, I think, similar dates, so they're rolled by decade. But it's not like this penny collection has a lot of value, although I do have several boxes of rolled up copper pennies because I've been doing this for a while. So when these get full, I'll go ahead and roll them up. And I think I probably have like $100 face value of copper pennies that I've just managed to collect over the years. But I don't even know if it's really a worthwhile way to spend my time in terms of the ROI. But I just enjoy doing it, so whatever. It's kind of fun when you're looking through some change and you find some old coins, especially if you find like an Indian head penny or some really old wheat pennies. But just kind of a quirky stacker thing that I've developed. It's at the point now where when I see metal, it's like I just got to grab it. Like this copper. I think that some of this copper wire, I was remodeling parts of my house and there was scrap wire and stuff left over, and sometimes I'd just be sitting there listening to a podcast and decide, hey, I'm going to strip some wire and throw it into this container, which again, it's probably not the best, most productive use of my time, but there's just, like, as a stacker, you get this sort of inclination to just collect metal. And, one thing that I do see people do is they buy copper bullion from some of the sites. They have that stuff for sale there. You can buy 1 ounce, 10-ounce bars, that sort of thing. And they are priced way, way above the actual spot price of copper. So there's a huge premium. So before anybody buy copper bullion, you might want to consider just collecting some copper pennies. Again, this is more about just how this is a quirky habit that I've developed over the years. And I'm wondering if anybody out there watching has anything similar that they do. I'm sure that like lots of people are edge checking coins and that sort of thing. But is anybody else throwing metals in buckets? Anyway, if you are, let us know in the comments below. I'd be curious to find out what people's stacking habits are. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a like, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified for future videos. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll catch you next time. Smart Silver Stacker out.